Have you noticed your diabetes medications aren't working quite as well as they used to? Maybe your blood sugar numbers keep creeping up despite following your doctor's orders, or perhaps that persistent tingling in your feet just won't go away. Before you assume you need stronger medication, there's something your doctor might not have checked yet. Your body could be running on empty when it comes to certain essential vitamins. Here's what most physicians don't tell you during those quick 15-minute appointments. When you have diabetes, your body doesn't just struggle with blood sugar. It's also quietly draining specific nutrients faster than you can replace them. Think of it like a bathtub with the drain open. No matter how much water you pour in, it keeps emptying out. That's exactly what's happening with certain vitamins in your system right now. Research from major medical centers shows that people with type 2 diabetes are significantly more likely to be deficient in key nutrients compared to those without the condition. And here's the kicker. These deficiencies can make your diabetes worse, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. But once you understand which nutrients matter most, and how to maintain healthy levels, you can take control in a way that complements your current treatment plan. Before we dive in, I want you to do me a favor. If you find this information helpful, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us reach more people who need this information. And drop a comment telling me your age and whether you've ever had your vitamin levels checked by your doctor. I'm curious how many of you have even been offered this simple test. Now let's talk about the first nutrient that could be sabotaging your diabetes management without you realizing it. The first one on our list might surprise you because it's not one doctors typically emphasize. It's called pyridoxine, though you probably know it better as vitamin B6. This isn't some trendy supplement that influencers are pushing. It's a workhorse nutrient that your nervous system absolutely depends on to function properly. Think about how your body processes the food you eat. Every time you have a meal, your pancreas releases insulin to help move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells where it can be used for energy. Vitamin B6 plays a critical role in this entire process. It helps your body break down the stored sugar in your liver and release it at a steady pace instead of all at once. Without adequate B6, your blood sugar tends to spike and crash throughout the day, making diabetes much harder to manage. But here's where things get complicated for people with diabetes. Several factors work together to drain your B6 reserves. Common medications like metformin, which millions of Americans take for diabetes, can gradually deplete this vitamin over months and years. High blood pressure medications, which many diabetics also take, have the same effect. Add in elevated blood sugar levels, which cause your kidneys to flush out more nutrients than normal, and you've got a perfect storm for deficiency. So, how do you know if you're running low? The warning signs can be subtle at first. You might feel more mentally foggy than usual, struggling to remember names or find the right words during conversations. Many people describe feeling unusually irritable or experiencing mood swings that seem to come out of nowhere. Your immune system might not respond as quickly to infections, leaving you with colds that linger for weeks instead of days. The most concerning symptom for diabetics is nerve-related issues. If you've noticed increased tingling, burning sensations, or numbness in your hands and feet, especially at night, low B6 could be making your neuropathy symptoms worse. Some people experience muscle weakness or find that their coordination isn't what it used to be. Your skin might become drier and more prone to irritation, or you might develop frequent mouth sores that take forever to heal. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Vitamin B6 deficiency can affect your cardiovascular system in ways that directly increase your risk of heart disease. There's a compound in your blood called homocysteine. When levels get too high, it can damage the lining of your arteries and contribute to plaque buildup. Vitamin B6 helps keep homocysteine levels in check. Without enough B6, your arteries can become stiffer and less flexible, raising your blood pressure and increasing your risk of heart attacks and strokes. The good news is that getting more B6 doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated meal plans. Let me give you some practical, affordable options that work for real people living on Medicare or fixed incomes. A simple can of chickpeas from your local grocery store contains about half your daily B6 needs in just 1 cup. Toss them in a salad, mash them up for a quick hummus, or roast them with a bit of olive oil and paprika for a crunchy snack. If you eat meat, chicken breast is an excellent source. A 6-ounce serving gives you roughly 40% of what you need for the day. Even canned tuna, which you can buy for a couple dollars at any supermarket, provides a decent amount. One 5-ounce can deliver about 30% of your daily requirement. And if you're a fan of breakfast foods, a medium banana contains about a quarter of your daily B6 needs. Plus, it's portable and doesn't need refrigeration. For those of you who enjoy cooking, try making a simple turkey and chickpea soup. Use ground turkey instead of beef to keep costs down. Add a can of chickpeas, some carrots, celery, and basic seasonings. One bowl can give you over half your daily B6 requirement while being gentle on your blood sugar. Or make a tuna salad with sunflower seeds mixed in. Both ingredients are rich in B6, and the healthy fats from the seeds help you absorb the nutrient more effectively. Now, if you're thinking about supplements, talk to your doctor first, especially if you're on multiple medications. But if you do decide to add a supplement, look for one that contains P5P, which stands for pyridoxal 5-phosphate. This is the active form of B6 that your body can use immediately without having to convert it first. Most high-quality brands will clearly label this on the bottle. A typical dose ranges from 25 to 50 milligrams per day, but your doctor might recommend more depending on your specific situation and medication list. One thing I need to mention: certain habits can actually make a B6 deficiency worse, even if you're eating all the right foods. Drinking alcohol regularly interferes with how your liver processes and stores B6. A diet high in processed foods and refined grains strips away most of the B6 during manufacturing. Even overcooking your vegetables can destroy much of their B6 content. Try steaming instead of boiling, and don't cook them until they're mushy. You want them slightly crisp to retain maximum nutrients. Before we move on, hit that like button if this information is making sense so far. And let me know in the comments whether you eat any of these B6-rich foods regularly. I'd love to hear what your go-to meals are. Let's talk about the second nutrient that makes a massive difference for diabetics, especially when it comes to protecting your nerves and blood vessels. This one is vitamin E, and it works in a completely different way than B6. Imagine your cells are like houses, and the outer walls are constantly under attack from environmental damage. Vitamin E acts like a protective shield, defending those walls from breaking down. For people with diabetes, this protection is absolutely critical because high blood sugar creates something called oxidative stress. Think of it like rust forming on metal. The higher your blood sugar stays over time, the more internal rust accumulates, damaging your cells, nerves, and blood vessels. Your body uses vitamin E to neutralize this damage before it can cause permanent harm. But here's the problem. Diabetics burn through vitamin E much faster than people with normal blood sugar levels. It's like driving a car that gets terrible gas mileage. You need to refuel more often just to keep going. And because vitamin E is fat-soluble, meaning it needs dietary fat to be absorbed properly, people who follow very low-fat diets often struggle to maintain adequate levels even when they eat vitamin E-rich foods. The tricky thing about vitamin E deficiency is that symptoms develop gradually over months or even years. You might not connect the dots right away. One of the earliest signs is increased muscle weakness. You might find it harder to open jars, carry groceries, or get up from a seated position. Your balance and coordination can become shakier, making you feel less steady on your feet. For diabetics, one of the most concerning effects is worsening neuropathy. If you already have nerve damage, low vitamin E can accelerate the progression. The tingling and numbness might spread further up your legs or arms. Some people describe it as feeling like they're wearing thick socks even when they're barefoot. Vision problems can also develop or worsen. Your eyes might feel strained, especially at night, or you might notice your vision becoming slightly blurrier. This happens because vitamin E protects the tiny blood vessels in your retina from damage. Your skin health often takes a hit too. Chronic dryness, slow wound healing, and increased susceptibility to infections are all red flags. And if you find yourself catching every cold and flu that goes around your community, weakened immunity from low vitamin E could be part of the reason. Your immune cells need vitamin E to function at their best. Here's something important that affects many older adults. Vitamin E plays a significant role in cardiovascular health, which is already compromised in most people with diabetes. It helps keep your arteries flexible and prevents the oxidation of cholesterol. You've probably heard about LDL cholesterol being the bad kind. Well, it only becomes truly dangerous when it oxidizes, meaning it undergoes a chemical change that makes it more likely to stick to artery walls. Vitamin E prevents this oxidation process, reducing your risk of plaque buildup, heart attacks, and strokes. On a deeper level, vitamin E helps improve insulin sensitivity. That means your cells become more responsive to insulin, allowing glucose to enter more efficiently. This can lead to better blood sugar control without changing your medication doses. It also helps regenerate other important antioxidants in your body, like vitamin C, creating a synergistic effect that amplifies your overall protection against diabetes complications. So how do you get more vitamin E through food? Fortunately, it's found in some delicious and accessible options. Sunflower seeds are one of the richest sources available. Just a small handful, about an ounce, gives you roughly 2/3 of your daily requirement. Keep a bag in your pantry and sprinkle them on salads, oatmeal, or yogurt. They're inexpensive and last for months when stored properly. Almonds are another fantastic choice. An ounce of almonds provides about half your daily vitamin E needs. I know nuts can be pricey, but here's a money-saving tip. Buy them in bulk from warehouse stores or wait for sales at your regular grocery store. You don't need fancy roasted or flavored varieties. Plain raw almonds work perfectly fine and cost less. If you prefer getting your nutrients from vegetables, cooked spinach is excellent. 1 cup of cooked spinach delivers about 20% of your daily vitamin E. The key word here is cooked. Cooking spinach actually concentrates its nutrients because the leaves shrink down so much. You can buy frozen spinach for just a couple dollars and it's already washed and chopped. Sauté it with some garlic and olive oil for a simple side dish that supports your diabetes management. Avocados are another great source. Plus, they provide healthy fats that help you absorb the vitamin E more effectively. Half an avocado gives you about 10% of your daily needs. I know avocados can be expensive, but here's a trick. Buy them when they're still firm and green, then let them ripen at home over several days. This way you can take advantage of sales without worrying about them going bad before you use them. For a simple meal idea, try making an almond-crusted fish fillet. Take any white fish, brush it with a little olive oil, coat it with crushed almonds, and bake until golden. Serve it with a side of sautéed spinach. This single meal provides over 80% of your daily vitamin E requirement while being gentle on your blood sugar and supporting heart health. If you're considering supplements, natural vitamin E labeled as D-alpha tocopherol is superior to synthetic versions labeled as DL-alpha tocopherol. Your body absorbs and uses the natural form much more effectively. A typical dose for diabetics ranges from 200 to 400 international units per day. However, be cautious if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or if you're scheduled for surgery. Vitamin E can increase bleeding risk, so always discuss supplementation with your doctor first. Some foods and habits actively work against your vitamin E status. Heavily processed vegetable oils like soybean and corn oil increase inflammation and oxidative stress, forcing your body to use up more vitamin E to combat the damage. Deep-fried foods have the same effect. Smoking cigarettes dramatically depletes vitamin E levels while simultaneously increasing oxidative stress, creating a double whammy effect. And surprisingly, overcooking your food destroys much of its vitamin E content. Light steaming or eating foods, raw when possible, preserves more of this valuable nutrient. Drop a comment and let me know if you regularly eat any of these vitamin E-rich foods. Are almonds part of your routine? Or do you prefer getting your nutrients from vegetables? I'm curious what works best for your lifestyle and budget. Now, let's discuss the third essential nutrient that diabetics frequently run low on, and this one might actually surprise you because it's so well known. I'm talking about vitamin C, also called ascorbic acid. You probably associate vitamin C with fighting off colds and boosting immunity, and yes, it absolutely does that. But for people with diabetes, vitamin C serves some additional critical functions that don't get nearly enough attention. The challenge is that diabetics face a unique problem when it comes to maintaining healthy vitamin C levels. Here's what happens in your body. Both glucose and vitamin C are similar in chemical structure. They're so similar that they actually compete for the same entry points into your cells. When your blood sugar is elevated, glucose floods those entry points, essentially blocking vitamin C from getting in. It's like trying to merge onto a crowded highway during rush hour. Even if you have plenty of vitamin C circulating in your bloodstream, it can't reach your cells where it's actually needed. To make matters worse, vitamin C is water-soluble, meaning your body can't store it for later use like it can with fat-soluble vitamins. Whatever you don't use gets flushed out through urination. And since diabetics tend to urinate more frequently, especially when blood sugar is poorly controlled, you lose even more vitamin C throughout the day. Add in the fact that high blood sugar creates additional oxidative stress that burns through your existing vitamin C reserves. And you can see why deficiency is so common in this population. The early warning signs of low vitamin C are often mistaken for normal aging or just part of having diabetes. Feeling constantly exhausted despite getting adequate sleep is one of the first indicators. This happens because vitamin C is involved in energy production at the cellular level. Without enough of it, your mitochondria, the power plants inside your cells, can't function efficiently. Bruising easily is another telltale sign. If you notice large bruises appearing from minor bumps that you barely remember, low vitamin C could be weakening your blood vessels. Vitamin C is absolutely essential for producing collagen, the protein that gives structure to your skin, blood vessels, bones, and connective tissue. When collagen production drops, your tissues become fragile and prone to damage. Slow wound healing is particularly concerning for diabetics because foot injuries can lead to serious complications if they don't heal properly. If you've noticed cuts or scrapes taking weeks to close up instead of days, inadequate vitamin C might be hindering your body's repair processes. Bleeding gums when you brush your teeth, frequent nosebleeds, and dry, rough skin are also common indicators that your collagen production has declined. Joint pain and stiffness tend to worsen with low vitamin C because your cartilage, which cushions your joints, relies heavily on collagen. Many older adults assume their increasing joint discomfort is simply arthritis, but improving vitamin C status can sometimes provide noticeable relief. Getting sick more often or taking longer to recover from infections also points to compromised immunity. Beyond these visible symptoms, vitamin C deficiency affects deeper systems in ways that directly impact diabetes complications. Your cardiovascular system depends on vitamin C to maintain the flexibility and integrity of your blood vessels. Without adequate levels, arteries become stiffer and more prone to damage. This increases blood pressure and raises the risk of heart disease and stroke, which are already elevated in people with diabetes. Vitamin C also plays a crucial role in protecting your kidneys. Diabetic kidney disease is one of the most serious long-term complications, and oxidative stress is a major driver of kidney damage. Vitamin C acts as a powerful antioxidant in the kidneys, neutralizing harmful compounds before they can cause permanent harm to the delicate filtering structures. Your eyes need vitamin C too. The retina, which is the light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye, contains some of the highest concentrations of vitamin C in your entire body. This nutrient protects the tiny blood vessels in your retina from damage caused by high blood sugar. Maintaining adequate vitamin C levels may help slow the progression of diabetic retinopathy and preserve your vision as you age. Here's an interesting fact that most people don't realize. Vitamin C helps improve iron absorption from plant-based foods. If you've been told you have anemia or low iron levels, getting more vitamin C can actually help your body extract more iron from foods like spinach, lentils, and beans. This is especially relevant for diabetics who may already be dealing with anemia from kidney complications or medication side effects. On a cellular level, vitamin C does something remarkable. It helps regenerate vitamin E after it's been used to neutralize free radicals. Remember how I explained that vitamin E acts like a protective shield? Well, once vitamin E has done its job, it becomes oxidized itself and can't work anymore unless it's regenerated. Vitamin C comes in and restores vitamin E back to its active form, essentially recycling it so your body can keep using it over and over. This partnership between these two nutrients is why getting adequate amounts of both is so important. Getting enough vitamin C through food is easier and more affordable than you might think. Bell peppers are one of the absolute best sources. One medium red bell pepper contains more vitamin C than most people need for an entire day, and they're available year-round at reasonable prices. You can eat them raw in salads, stuff them with ground turkey and quinoa, or sauté them with onions for a simple side dish. Strawberries are another excellent choice. A cup of fresh strawberries provides almost all the vitamin C you need daily. Plus, they're loaded with fiber that helps stabilize blood sugar. Buy them when they're in season for the best price and flavor. If fresh berries aren't available or are too expensive, frozen strawberries work just as well and are often cheaper. The freezing process actually preserves most of the vitamin C content. Broccoli is a powerhouse vegetable that many people overlook. 1 cup of cooked broccoli gives you more than your entire daily vitamin C requirement. Steam it lightly rather than boiling it to preserve more nutrients. Frozen broccoli is just as nutritious as fresh and costs a fraction of the price. Keep a few bags in your freezer for easy meal preparation. Citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruits are classic vitamin C sources, but you need to be mindful of their sugar content if you have diabetes. Half a grapefruit or 1 medium orange provides plenty of vitamin C without causing major blood sugar spikes, especially if you eat it with a source of protein or healthy fat. The fiber in whole fruit helps slow down sugar absorption compared to drinking juice. Here's a simple meal idea that packs a vitamin C punch. Make a stir fry using chicken or tofu, red and green bell peppers, broccoli, and onions. Season it with garlic, ginger, and a splash of low-sodium soy sauce. Serve it over a small portion of brown rice or cauliflower rice. This single meal can provide well over your daily vitamin C needs while keeping your blood sugar stable and supporting overall health. If you prefer supplements, vitamin C is widely available and inexpensive. However, not all forms are absorbed equally well. Regular ascorbic acid tablets work fine for most people, but if you experience stomach upset, look for buffered forms like calcium ascorbate or sodium ascorbate, which are gentler on the digestive system. An even better option is liposomal vitamin C, which is encapsulated in tiny fat bubbles that help it absorb more efficiently. It costs more, but you get better results with lower doses. Most diabetics do well with 500 to 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day. Your body can only absorb so much at once, so splitting your dose into 2 or 3 smaller amounts throughout the day is more effective than taking one large dose. Taking it with meals can also improve absorption and reduce the chance of stomach discomfort. Certain habits can undermine your vitamin C status, even if you're eating all the right foods. Smoking is the absolute worst offender. Smokers need almost double the vitamin C compared to non-smokers because cigarette smoke creates massive amounts of oxidative stress. If you smoke and have diabetes, you're facing a serious uphill battle in maintaining adequate vitamin C levels. Drinking alcohol regularly depletes vitamin C stores while simultaneously increasing inflammation and oxidative stress. A diet heavy in processed foods and added sugars makes the competition problem even worse, as more glucose floods into your bloodstream, competing with vitamin C for cellular entry. And here's something many people don't realize. Cooking vegetables at high temperatures or boiling them in water destroys much of their vitamin C content. Light steaming, microwaving, or eating vegetables raw preserves significantly more of this heat-sensitive nutrient. Some medications can also interfere with vitamin C levels. Aspirin, which many diabetics take for heart protection, can increase vitamin C elimination through urine. Corticosteroids used for inflammation also deplete vitamin C. If you take these medications regularly, you may need higher vitamin C intake to compensate. Let me ask you something. When was the last time your doctor checked your vitamin levels? Drop a comment and let me know. Most physicians focus on hemoglobin A1C and blood sugar monitoring, which is important, but nutritional deficiencies often fly under the radar. Yet they can significantly impact how well your diabetes is controlled and how quickly complications develop. Here's what I want you to understand. These 3 vitamins, B6, E, and C, work together as a team to protect your body from diabetes complications. They're not magic bullets that will cure your diabetes, and they don't replace your medications or the healthy lifestyle choices your doctor has recommended. But they are essential tools that can help your medications work more effectively, reduce inflammation, protect your nerves and blood vessels, and improve your overall quality of life. Think of managing diabetes like maintaining a car. You need fuel in the tank, that's your medication, and insulin if you take it. But you also need oil in the engine, air in the tires, and brake fluid in the lines. These vitamins are like that essential maintenance. Without them, even with a full tank of gas, your car won't run properly for long. The beautiful thing is that improving your vitamin status doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated routines. For many people, simple changes in food choices can make a meaningful difference within weeks. Adding a handful of sunflower seeds to your morning oatmeal, swapping white rice for a side of steamed broccoli, keeping a bag of almonds in your car for afternoon snacks instead of hitting the drive-thru. These small shifts add up over time. If you do decide to use supplements, please talk to your doctor or pharmacist first, especially if you're taking blood thinners, have kidney disease, or are on multiple medications. Some nutrients can interact with medications or affect how they work. Your healthcare team can help you determine appropriate doses based on your specific situation. I also want to encourage you to request blood tests for these nutrients at your next appointment. Many doctors won't think to check unless you ask specifically. A simple blood test can reveal whether you're deficient and help you and your doctor make informed decisions about supplementation. Some tests are covered by Medicare, while others might require out-of-pocket payment, but knowing your baseline status is valuable information. One more thing before we wrap up. If you've been struggling with worsening neuropathy, frequent infections, slow wound healing, or blood sugar that seems harder to control despite medication compliance, vitamin deficiencies could be contributing factors. Don't assume these problems are just inevitable parts of having diabetes. Sometimes the solution is simpler than you think. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me which of these 3 vitamins you think you might be low on based on the symptoms I described. Are you going to make any changes to your diet after watching this? And have you ever had vitamin levels tested by your doctor? Your experiences can help other viewers who are dealing with similar challenges. If this information was helpful to you, please hit that like button and share this video with someone you know who has diabetes. Whether it's a family member, friend, or someone in your church or community group, this information could make a real difference in their health. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future videos on managing diabetes naturally and staying healthy as you age. Before you go, let me leave you with this thought. Your body is incredibly resilient and has an amazing capacity to heal when given the right tools. These 3 vitamins are fundamental tools that support that healing process. Whether you choose to increase them through food, supplements, or a combination of both, you're taking an active role in your health. That's something to be proud of. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and remember that small, consistent changes lead to big improvements over time. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into another important aspect of diabetes management that doesn't get enough attention. Until then, stay healthy and keep those blood sugar numbers in check.